Hello guys, I'm Christopher from China Mobile Mac presenting you the Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus review. So the Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus is a high-end phablet that was unveiled together with the Xiaomi Mi 5S. However, the two devices don't have that much in common. So we used this phone as our daily driver for a week and here are the results. With the Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus you get the usual paperwork, a SIM needle, a quick charge 3.0 power supply with US plug, one USB Type-C cable and, unusual for Xiaomi devices, a protector for the phone's rear. The Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus is a very beautiful phone with its brushed metal body. It looks stunning and really is one hell of an eye-catcher. The bad part is the metal is quite thin and due to some coating the rear feels more like plastic than metal. Xiaomi this time kicks out antenna lines and uses plastic caps instead. You don't notice that immediately though, since they look almost identical like the metal of the body and also feel similar. The eye-catcher on the rear is the large dual camera module, which has been embedded a fraction of a millimeter into the body to protect it from scratches. Next to it we find the flash and below the fingerprint scanner. On the sides we find the hardware keys on the right. These are a bit loose and cause a rattle when shaking the phone. At this price range of more than $400 we would have expected a better build quality here. On the left there is a SIM tray which takes two Nano SIM cards but no microSD card. On the top we find the 3.5mm headphone jack, the noise cancelling mic and the infrared blaster. On the lower side there is a USB Type-C connector and besides of it a voice microphone and the media speaker. The front for the most part consists of the screen. Thanks to thin bezels and slim upper and lower screen areas, the Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus is rather compact despite its 5.7-inch screen. The dimensions are 154.6 by 77.7mm, the thickness is 8mm and the weight is 168 grams. Next to the screen there are backlit touch buttons on the front as well as the front camera sensors, the earpiece and an RGB status LED which stays invisible while not being active. The 5.7-inch Full HD screen inside the Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus is pretty much perfect and just gorgeous. Colors do look very intense, sometimes you really could believe it's an OLED screen. The screen really pops even under sunlight thanks to its extremely high brightness of 550 nits and Xiaomi's sunlight display technology, which does a great job with on-the-fly contrast management. The viewing angles of the screen are gorgeous and single pixels are not visible despite the 5.7-inch screen size. The screen is protected by Gorilla Glass 4 and thus very scratch-proof. So far there are no scratches on our device despite not using a protection. The glass is slightly oleophobic, which means fingerprints don't settle too fast. The touch panel works very well and reacts very fast and precise to touches, which makes speedy typing easy. It's just swipe where we have noticed a very slight input lag, but nothing disturbing. The digitizer recognizes up to 10 fingers. Inside the Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus there is a Snapdragon 821 processor, which means the phablet has a lot of power which you are likely not to use up entirely these days. No matter if it's heavy multitasking or intense gaming you throw at it, the Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus always stays smooth. We have to say though that it does feel a tiny bit less snappy than the Echo Le Pro 3, which likely is caused by the slower RAM, which only reaches 11 GB per second of bandwidth, while the Le Pro 3 reached 17 GB per second, while being around $100 cheaper. By the way, the Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus top-end model we have here comes with 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of internal memory. What we love is that the Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus always stays incredibly cool. You can play games for an hour and it just gets slightly warm. The phablet comes with a ton of sensors including a gyroscope, compass, step counter and even a pressure sensor. The fingerprint scanner on the rear is not an ultrasonic one, but still is incredibly speedy and accurate and can handle slightly wet fingers with no issues. Software running on the Mi 5S Plus is MIUI 8 based on Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow. Compared to older MIUI versions, MIUI 8 does look more structured and thus is easier to use, which especially applies to the Settings app which you can now search in. A global ROM is not yet available for the Mi5S Plus, which means you have to live with the English language only and install the Google Play Store manually. Alternatively, you can use translated custom ROMs, e.g. by Xiaomi.eu, but you need to unlock your bootloader first. In case your Xiaomi Mi5S Plus comes with a non-official version pre-installed that you are stuck with, you can flash the original Xiaomi ROM using the Mi Flash tool and EDL mode. The Xiaomi Mi5S Plus, as any other Xiaomi phone, gets regular updates weekly in case of the developer ROM. It's expected that this will stay like that for at least 3 years, likely longer. The Xiaomi Mi5S Plus offers top-notch mobile network reception quality, but unfortunately lacks support for 800 MHz LTE, aka band 20. In some countries that might limit LTE compatibility. Wi-Fi performance is top-notch and we have been able to move across the whole building with no signal losses. Bluetooth works well too, and NFC is supported and works fine despite the metal rear. The GPS was working perfectly fine too. There have been no signal loss during navigation and the phone reacted fast to route changes. The energy consumption while navigating is impressively low and the heat is too. After 2 hours of navigation, the phone used 20% battery only. During phone calls, the Xiaomi Mi5S Plus does a good job for both ends of the line. The noise cancelling works very well and gets rid of those background noises easily. The media speaker is a bit disappointing. It doesn't sound bad and offers decent basses, but it doesn't sound very balanced and kinda mixes up basses, treble and heights because it ain't a stereo speaker, which is sad. Through headphones you get a great audio quality with good volume. Presets for Xiaomi headphones beef up the sound in case you own a pair. A dedicated audio chip or amplifier is not present. What utterly disappointed us is the camera. The Xiaomi Mi5S Plus comes with two Sony IMX258 sensors with 13 megapixels and f2.0 aperture, which are supposed to offer more details in pictures taken in stereo mode. Sadly, the stereo mode is nothing more than a toy. You just can't predict at which situation the stereo mode is better, since it doesn't deliver consistent results. Another problematic part about the stereo mode is extended shutter time when using it. It is hard to get sharp pictures without using a tripod or a solid surface to support your hands. This basically makes this feature rather useless in a lot of situations. Sadly, in normal mode the camera won't perform well either. You need perfect light to get good pictures. Early sunset already ain't enough light and pictures start to lack dynamic range. They start to be more and more noisy and lack detail. Details like leaves of trees get a colorful mud and low light/night performance is just awful. The LED flash is good for macro and close-up shots at night, but it makes pictures lack colors. Also, it can't handle larger rooms, pictures show a lot of noise then. Videos shot in 4K don't look as great as on some other phones of the $400 price range either. They again lack detail and there is no image stabilization. The audio quality is okay, but does lack basses. The front camera does 4MP shots and comes with extra large pixels for good low light performance, and indeed it does really well with bad light and performs way better than the main camera. Bottom line for the camera is that we are utterly disappointed. The camera is just way too bad considering the price tag of this phone. Back to a nice part, the battery. The Xiaomi Mi5S Plus comes with a 3800 mAh cell, which together with good optimization makes up for around 6 hours of screen on time and 2 days of battery life per charge on average. Charging the battery takes a bit more than 1 hour. From 20 to 70% it takes 40 minutes. Conclusion: the Xiaomi Mi5S Plus is a nice looking phablet with great specs and a big processing punch. The pricing, however, is just really bad. The phone is way too expensive. Compared to the Leco Pro 3, you pay around $100 more and get the slightly larger and brighter screen, more memory and a slightly improved battery life for that. Anyway, it also lacks some stuff like LTE band 20, stereo speakers and a good camera. Really, the camera is crap for a phone that costs almost $500. But in the end, you have to decide for yourself which one you like better. So that's all from our side. If there are any questions left, please drop a comment. More information and the link to the shop can be found in the video description. If you like what we are doing here at CMM, please support us with a visit at chinamobilemac.de or our English site chinadevices.net and subscribe to this channel. So thanks for watching, bye bye and see you soon.